Yen Kasa is proudly brought to you by EK100, Minada Hair Care, and Genia Desserts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Yen Kasa. Tonight promises to be an exciting episode. So last episode had a lot of you talking. I got a lot of DMs. I got a lot of comments. People wanting to have a continuation of it. That is Premarital Church Counselling, a modern perspective. We had our panelists dissect the issue. Apparently, we didn't do justice to it. So tonight, we are going to take it again. Here with us, we have Pastor Kwame and Kwame Joshua, as I choose to call you. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Great. I think you guys made a lot of friends and enemies, if I can say that, because, after the episode, we had a lot of comments coming in. Some were liking Joshua's vibe and points. Also, you also came across as very incisive. A lot of us learned a lot of things from that episode. So tonight, we are going to talk about it and continue from where we left off. And I remember you signing off with the fact that you thought there should be a school of marriage where counseling is such that it goes from the pre-stage to the during stage till the marriage eventually blossoms into something beautiful or breaks down. That being said, I want us to explore that topic further, that theme further, and then look into other themes that can be talked about. So, Osofo, over to you.
All right, good to have me here. And it was amazing, just as he said. All right, so back to the topic. School of marriage or school of marriages in regards to various churches. Because marriage is a lifetime thing. Right? You can't just get to know everything that it entails just within the 3 months, 6 months period of counseling. So after going through premarital counseling, we should also have institutions, that's the school of marriage, teaching people, some of the things that happen during marriage, or in the course of the marriage, parenting as well. Okay, some of the changes, because we are dynamic, we are not static. Yeah. So some of the changes that we should expect from our partners. So I think with the school of marriage, it will be a good idea to bring some of these things to bear for people to learn from them.
Okay. Joshua, you are married, and in our last episode, you shared some experiences going through the counseling process. With what Osofo has said, what's your take on it?
Right. So, yes, I would say I would agree with the concept. I don't know how it's going to be rolled out, but it's a concept I would like. If you go through the previous episode, the crux of the whole thing I was trying to do was to say that the church needs a strong system. So there's something I said I would like to repeat. To whom much is given, much is expected. So to whom much is expected, much should be given. And so to have a system that would be there, permanent system, that help people through the process of marriage. So you would say, like, I think he said so, that even those who go for the training, the counseling training, they can go for 2 years and they are not sure whether they will get jobs or not. I don't know if he said that behind scenes.
I think what he meant was that we go to school to study a course for 3-4 years and prepare for a job that we are not sure we're going to get.
Exactly.
How much more a marriage that's supposed to last a lifetime.
Exactly what I was driving at. So yes. So if it's a marriage that's supposed to last a lifetime, you don't expect a 3 months counseling session to correct everything. Right. So yes, the school of marriage is something that will make sense.
Great. So with that being said, one of the things that I kept pondering over when we finished the episode was the fact that you were talking about the approaches to addressing issues like finances, childbirth, and all of that. Now that you bring up this marriage school idea, I'm wondering, I'm about to marry, we come and then you teach us how to manage our finances, not how to. You guide us through the approaches we could actually use. Okay. 3 years into the marriage, I lose my job. What was originally discussed doesn't hold any longer, right? How do you approach that as a pastor, seeing that you counseled me with my wife 3 years prior, and then we had this plan in place and all of that happened? Because I know that during that period, you were going to talk about the fact that everything is possible, anything is possible. We cannot guarantee how things will turn out in the marriage. So you actually psych us to be ready for anything. But this is a case where I didn't understand the realities of it until I found myself in there. I'm sinking, I'm losing myself. I'm almost at a stage where I'm depressed. I don't want to do anything. I feel God is failing me. What has been the approach for you? Or I don't know if you have dealt with something like that, but what would be the approach?
Okay, so the whole concept of marriage is that the two of you are becoming one. So there's nothing like, or there should be nothing like my money, but our money. So if your job fails or you lose your job and your wife is working, that money is supposed to
Cushion you.
whilst you're looking for another one, or you try to get something to do or come up with, But then again, there's also a culture thing, especially in Ghana, where most women think the husband's money is our money. My money is my money. Okay.
Well, I've had instances where parents have said that like you, the woman, but whatever it is that has to do with costs and spending, it is
Goes
for
to
the
your
man.
husband.
So I mean,
So that's not
I
the
can
biblical
relate.
way.
Right.
You see, that's not the biblical way. So just as we are saying, the left back, the right. So when the man is no more working and the woman is working, she's supposed to step in. The same way, naturally here the men do that. So it's no news if the man is taking care. But then the woman can also do something to help in that instance, whilst you try to also find another job.
I think Joshua has something to say.
No, it just sounds like a space sheet. It looks like the Bible supports the space sheet thing. So that was what I was saying. I was smiling all along too. Yeah.
Right. So I think that I like the way you simplified it, but there was a reason why I gave you the preamble about the man falling into depression and all of these.
Okay.
And men and our ego, sometimes at that point, we feel we are at our lowest. And going to counseling is not the first things on our minds. The first thing is get back to default setting, resolve the situation, do whatever it takes to get there. Do you understand? And it is the wife who is also feeling the brunt now, because maybe the two incomes coming in gave them a certain level of or a standard of living that made life easy. Now there's just one income supporting the home. And so she will also feel the pressure. That's why I asked about your approach.
So let's cut the expenses, the one we can slash out. Or if our standard of living is high, maybe you have to come to the middle whilst you are working things out. Because, for example, if you're spending like 20,000 a month, because the man was earning like, say, 30,000, the money is not coming. Your wife is earning 10,000. Even if you are spending the whole 10,000, it will not meet your monthly expenditure or your budget. So then you have to look at the things you can cut down on. For example, if entertainment is costing you, for that moment you can stay out of entertainment whilst you also get to, get back on your feet. Another thing is that, for the man to be in depression, it will not just be the loss of job or loss of business. Maybe what the wife will be saying or how the wife will be treating him. How in-laws or family will also be treating him. Because for men, just as we kind of have, or most men have tough skin, they get to a certain level before they begin to sink.
Okay.
So for the man to get to that state, it means there are pressures from different angles. Sometimes to social status.
Yes.
I am there. Now everybody will see that. But that is life.
So in this case, how do you provide psychological support? Because I remember in our episode, you talked about the fact that the ideal profile of a counselor should be somebody who has had some level of psychological training, aside the experience and they being pastors, which is the spiritual aspect of it. There's supposed to be a psychological component that's supposed to be an asset the pastor or the counselor uses as part of their tools and resources to work. So in this case, you have mentioned, man is in depression. This is where I think you need your psychological acumen or skill or whatever to be able to help.
Josh, will you want to say something?
No.
Okay, all right. So the whole thing is you have to look at the underlying problem. Just as I said, it may not just be the loss of job. Okay, so they are triggering. I'm looking for the right word. It will come. The things that really push the man to that level. Okay, number two, if depending on I don't know how long they might have gone through the counseling, but you will get to know that life happens. Things can go opposite what you expect or what you're going through. So you see that it is part of life. So you would have that expectation. And if you have that expectation, that alone can lower the level of depression you go through. Number two, you are not the only person that is going through that. It's life. It can happen to anybody. So the first thing, or what we can tell to calm down, let's look for the way forward. What do you have? What resources do you have at the moment to help you, to sustain you, or to push you? So mostly, as you spoke about finances, mostly you'll be told you should have at least 6 months savings to take you through that, because it is believed that within that time is an ample time for you to find, your next foot. All right.
All right. Joshua, do you have anything to add to this?
Yes, maybe just repeating what I've said already. I think what you just said, or what you guys have just discussed, is a reason why my view has grounds. So you can't just be a counselor, a marriage counselor, who by being a member of a church, being active, gradually gets promoted because they see that, oh, you and your wife, you are very close and you are kind of having the lovebird thing in the public space. Meanwhile, maybe at home you are fighting every now and then.
It may even be for the cameras.
Just for the cameras. Yeah. And then the church gradually promotes you and then become a marriage counselor. That's where my point holds. Now, if you are someone who is empathetic towards human beings, one, that has always been my number one point for a counselor, I think. I don't know for a fact. And then two, you are schooled and trained, right? Then you are well equipped to handle issues like this. So like you said, 3 months counseling is not supposed to solve every problem in the marriage, because ideally, there's no format, because we are all different. I tell people, for instance, me, if I split myself in two and I'm coexisting with myself in one room, I have issues with myself.
Right.
You understand? So there's no way you can have a counseling session that deals with every single problem that would probably happen in future. But this is where the training comes in. So per your training as a psychologist or clinical psychologist or whatever it is, you can trigger emotions, pull out hidden cards by asking certain questions and poking certain people in certain ways that gets them to say things they don't or wouldn't have said in under normal circumstances. And that's what helps, right? So it's not necessarily about the counselors, because let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't know, but I don't think my counselor was ever paid for the services rendered to us.
Oh.
I don't know for a fact. I assume because he's a pastor of the church, maybe if anything, he's being paid as a pastor of the church, but not as a counselor. And guess what?
As part of the service to the
Yes, and guess what? Every time we went to his house, he served us with water. There were times he served us with snacks. I'm guessing all this is coming from his pocket, trying to do a good job on us. So with this person, you can tell the person wants to do their job. But would all other counselors who want to do their job be equipped to do their job? That's the question. It's not necessarily about get them trained.
Okay.
Church wants to hold marriages on a high pedestal. create systems, and then the captains who are supposed to steer the affairs of the system must be well equipped. Simpliciter. And then in that case, then these issues of financial issues coming here and there, when we now have the school of marriages like you proposed, these things will come up. Then they'll be more like therapeutic. Maybe once a while we do, there's, may he so rest in peace, there's this marriage group I'm part of, Mr. Isaac Cranting, or Mary Cranting, yes. No, he's such a wonderful person. I mean, he gathers married people and then bring resource persons like every year. Wow. And so it looks like we are having a vacation. But you go there and you realize that this year, the kind of things you were doing, some resource person will come and pick on them, address them in a certain way. So maybe same system the church adopts as the marriage school of marriage or something. Yeah. And then once in a while, there's a convention for marriages. But those who are supposed to be the resource persons cycle back to the point, well equipped, not just people who kind of appear to be married people and so they know they are. Right. That has always been my issue with marriage counseling. Yeah.
On that note, Joshua, thank you for that submission. We're going to take a break and then we'll be back. Welcome back. So before we left, Joshua gave us a wonderful point. And at this point, I want to also ask about something that I have thought about before this shoot this evening. I think that maybe it would also shape the conversation in a way. How do cultural norms in Ghana, this is where we are, so viewers in other parts of the world, please forgive us, we are in Ghana. How do cultures in Ghana impact the effectiveness of premarital counseling? Who would like to go first?
Well. It's really, really a tough thing, you know. For some time now, people have been advocating that the church shouldn't even have business in marriages because it's a family thing. It's a family thing. So people are advocating that the church should leave it for the family. But then again, we also see the church as a family. We also see the church as your family because we see the church as a family in the sense that when God created man, it was for relationship. And the things that the family was supposed to do, there was failure. So God instituted the church more or less as another family to fix some of the issues that family couldn't do. Then again, our background, how we are raised, our belief system, the families we are coming from, within the Ghanaian setting, the various tribes, also influences our counseling because some of the just as before we spoke about something. You have the lady is being told, Then this person come to counsel and you say, no, you are one. Every resources that you get, you bring it on the table. The woman gets, you bring everything to the table. You do everything together. So if the person is still holding on to that concept, it becomes difficult because this is what I was told from the home. This is what counseling is telling me. Or this is the Christian norm. How do I marry the two? Or which one should I take? Then it becomes a problem. So then the person has to also make a decision. Because then we also believe if you say you're a Christian, then you should go with the Christian norms.
Okay. So in essence, what you're saying is that our Ghanaian norms and traditions have a way of impacting the counseling, which is not the positive.
Yes.
Okay. Joshua.
I'm going to say something, and the ladies out there, you either like me or you hate me. But I have to say it anyway. And this is one of the bad aspects of our culture or upbringing. So maybe now it's changed a bit, but back in the day, as though I'm an old man, but back in the day, it used to be very harsh. Very hard. You know, ladies going to marry thinking everything about theirs. Every other, like, at once they don't have life outside marriage. And that is, see, if you're a lady out there, please do this for yourself. Don't be a burden. Don't be a burden. I don't know how best to express it. I just hope I'm saying the right words. I'm hoping. I'm not sure.
Let me try and help.
Come in and let's see if you help me.
So what you're saying is that back in the day, the assumption was that's why we got the word mirror. The man is your everything. The marriage should be your focus, your sole focus. Make sure you make the home, make the marriage work. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Such that you don't have any external life aside the marriage you are in.
Yeah.
So that's how come we had a lot of stay-home wives who didn't do any economic activity to bring money into the home. Is that what you're saying?
That's before you come in, but that's a nice scenario you just painted there.
Okay.
So in that case, you see, what happens is that there's this popular TV radio show. I don't want to mention this, but if you know, you know. A lot of the ladies who come there, it looks as though as soon as the man exits their life, they become helpless.
They have nothing.
Right. Oh, I know the show.
How would you do? You see, how would you? My problem is, why would you do this to yourself? See, me personally, I didn't be too maybe as a say, "Bema dear," or "bad dear." That statement, okay, you just trigger me right now.
So when they are growing up, of course, Kwame, you're humble bro. Of course, they're being bema be asonimu.
Right.
You see, so you can't try and say obenya bema asonimu. See, all the life in Yinano or she bema or besonimu. Some of them have gone to school, first degree, masters, and you just want to be a housewife. How? With all that knowledge, the gifting God has given you, the abilities,
but
what are you doing
when
with
you
those
say
ones?
it's like this, so I don't think it is only back in the day, because now I know somebody who says their sole aim is to be an allergist's wife.
Serious,
No. It is a serious thing.
No, the person is not.
She wants to be an allergist's wife. She'll be home and then she would just enjoy allergist's money. She doesn't want to do anything difficult.
That's a lazy approach to life and to marriage.
Okay.
That's a lazy approach.
What happens to choices?
If allergy can't go and come, what happens? Who takes care of the children? It's life. Things happen. Are you getting me? In most cases, ben mani upa na fie jadum. Na nkwana ne ma ba na beye basa no ma beye burden. Ama wine. But if we have some of the women, they are on their feet. Some of them are even doing well in life than the men, their husbands. So God created you with purpose, with giftings, with abilities. Some of them, by God's grace, or your family is well to do. What Timako school, who was skills, also betnefi, abaye housewife. So do something. At least, if not, full time or fully engaged, you can have a side business. Or personally, at their crowd, about Nefi now in your shabe kokonsa. Assembly a chum be a fan be out the So just get busy. Yes, I only Obia call Bia of Nobia in a bed.
That's true.
So, I shall me dining mammy. Why security? But when they know that you are doing something, you see, there's something about working. It's not just about earning or money. It's fulfillment.
Right.
Especially on the side of men. That's why when a man is not working or he has problem with job or business, it will be very difficult for you to make that man happy. Because God gave man work before a woman.
Hey.
So the purpose of the woman is to help man to do his work. And I didn't say job.
Joshua doesn't agree.
I didn't say job. I said work.
Okay.
So I don't know, but the little observation and the studies I've done is that every man just always lazy and now on just blah. The Juma Bian Koya on your working. Obano supporting and said then crying, he still want to, because we have that ego, we want to be on top. You get the thing. We want to be on top of our situation. And see, that's it.
So, judging from what you two have said, I'm getting the impression that there are a lot of Ghanaian norms that we need to do away with. I've always said this in my small circles, that we have outgrown some of the Ghanaian cultural norms, right? And I think it's high time we stated it and then we abolished some of them. But then again, too, I have also come to realize that people pick and choose when to play the Ghanaian cultural norm and when not to. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. When it favors them, they play the cultural card. When it doesn't favor them, they will tell you, oh, we are in a progressive world. So I believe that these things, you are at the forefront of this as a marriage counselor. So in dealing with the couples and then their issues, I'm sure you meet the mothers, the parents of these couples. I don't know if
Mostly no.
Mostly no.
But let me also.
No, but in your role as a pastor, I'm sure you've married a few.
Okay, yeah.
You've married couples who've come. Have you met parents of these couples in the process of conducting a marriage ceremony or blessing or
Okay, I have.
interactions with them?
Yes.
And have you picked up these signals?
As in with the family influencing.
Yes, with the norms we've just talked about.
Mostly, I said something. People reveal the side of them they want you to see. And you see, when you come to church, you see, and yet we are not truthful to ourselves. Sorry, Bama, we are pretending to be brave. Oh, soft, pastor. Especially just as we are, when they come for counseling, the way they will behave before you,
They are different.
I'm telling you.
Meanwhile, there are problems they need to deal
So
with.
even with the parents, they will not tell you. Sometimes even if they have problems, they can't tell you. But behind you, they will tell them, listen, this is what they pastor about. I am your mother, listen to me. I am your father. I wanted to say something, because when I spoke earlier, I made mention of the other side of the cultural norms. That's also the men, like I'm the man of the house.
Right.
What I say is final.
Final.
So no suggestion from the wife, no consultation, nothing.
The military setting.
Kind of thing. Because by African man, the Obano, me na me worry over if he had me pen away. You see the thing. Until a Janukana, Papa ni peno, and Cranny Oban panning no pay. I will say, there are no pen a year. Both much as had in a trim. Oban Timin Kotna kitchen and Tim Fifi now may the old pedebia. You also have to consider her. You are one. You are not bigger than her. You are not better than her. Let her also feel that she's also part of the marriage. It takes two people to make marriage work.
Sure.
When one is not ready to make it work, the other can never make it work. That's one thing we also don't. So, if you are, also for cry, Jawari. Listen, so for make us all worry, there's nothing Sopho can do. No amount of prayer. So we should also know that it takes two people to marry. If the other one says no, you're sure for cry, so that because you're a Christian or you're a pastor or you're a leader, they push the blame on you. Or so for crying to man in the fear. I saw you paying your cry, Jawari. I remember the you don't have to go on that line because it takes two people. So you just as the beginning, one of the things last episode I said is that most people when they come for counseling, they are coming to endorse their choice.
True.
Yeah.
So when you are telling them anything contrary, no. Just as they are saying,
Hey, people are saying.
oh yes. Say I abusian na enyo made nti wo ware kra so for the osi den.
What's your take on that particular?
Just as I said, the church is a family. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 9, they say you are now part of God's own family. You are no more foreigners, you are no more strangers. So we see as a family of God. So if you are a family of God, a Drew say a yeni be financial support there. Asori no more. But Drew be a so ye dey who say man here commitment there. Then you are saying something else. So it's a family. The same way when you are about to marry, your cousins, your aunties, everybody is coming. That's how we also see the church, that we're also part of you. And that we should also be integral part. Because we see the pastor as, quote unquote, your father in the Lord.
Right.
So how can you marry without your father? So the same way we cannot marry without your biological father. We also think that we can also not marry without your spiritual father. So please, the church is a family. You are part of the family. And if you didn't have a bone, a drew a year, the ammonia, but sorry for number. Oh, Maria, we are part of your life. We are not leaving you. Yes. We are
inside the
going with you.
marriage. All right. Thank you very much, Joshua. Your take on this before we round up.
Maybe he said mostly everything. I think I was trying to make a point earlier. Maybe I would like to conclude on that.
Okay, sure.
And that was when I was trying to talk about Obadia. I made a statement. I didn't make Obadia and
The stereotype that people-
And then he went on to say God created. There's no find the purpose of God. I think you see, you are first a human being before the gender and everything else follows. So as a person, be self-sufficient. You should. As we are here, per science, I am stable because you are here. Because there's this forces that between us is holding us together, right? So no one can survive by themselves. That said, everybody should work for their own selves, as in be self-sufficient. So a woman or a man shouldn't be in the place where you say Obanewu, Permanewu, so your life ends. I mean, what you've essentially done is to waste God's time.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, God's resource, the brains. All you've done is to just say that God really didn't bless you with brains or something. Like He created you a disabled, and that your only ability was the man.
I think you should, because I would have an issue with the word disabled, because they are also very wonderful people.
No, not in the context. So, in the context of the word, the
As
English
God
word
created you,
disabled.
you lack.
Okay.
Yes. So in other words, if I'm repeating what I said, as though God created you disabled, and the only thing that makes you able, which is the man, is no longer there. So now you have gone back to the default setting God created you. Do you get my scenario?
Which is the incomplete person.
Yeah, the incomplete person, right? So it shouldn't be the case. There are times people, like I said, on the popular radio station or TV station or so, and it's like their life has come to an end. It shouldn't be like that. And for me, I don't know how else to say this, but it's something counselors should take a course to champion. It's a course counselors should champion. Move from radio station to radio station, TV station to TV station, and let people know that they can't behave like that.
At whose cost?
At the church, that's why the system comes in. That's why the system comes in.
Also, as one said that they are not remunerated enough because of the work they do. See, if I want to talk about that one too, I'm sure we will not finish this episode. But Osofo, God bless you.
Amen.
God bless you. That's all I can say, because I think we need to also appreciate the work that goes into it. You mentioned that your counselor at the time used their own resources to make sure you were comfortable.
Their resources.
To make sure you were comfortable. And you were not sure whether the church was funding it or was reimbursing them for that. So there's a level of commitment they put to which affects their resources, their time, and everything. So I would also say that counselors are doing very well. And without them, a lot would go wrong. Yeah. I would say that. Without them, a lot will go wrong. So to that point, I believe church premarital counseling is very essential to modern marriages. It is one of the pillars that holds it. Without it, a lot will go wrong. Yeah. And while we are saying that, we would say that we should work at making it more efficient and very sustainable. And also the quality of content and people we put in there should be up there. And I'll borrow Joshua's word, to whom what much is given, much is expected. So we should be able to give people who are yet to marry and people who are married who need these counseling services a lot more, so we can hold them on a higher pedestal of accountability. On that note, this has been Yen Kasa. Before we go, this episode was sponsored by Harvard Mashke. Today I was supposed to drink it, but I couldn't because the conversation was. So yes, this is Harvard Mashke. Very nutritious, very healthy. You can see the details in the video somewhere. So let's all patronize it. And then Minada hair care as well. Yes, I don't have the best of hair, so I cannot talk about my hair as an example. But there are a few of my crew members here who are beaming with smiles when I mention Minada. So let's go and follow them, and then let's buy from them. This has been me, Papa, your host on this episode of Yen Kasa. See you in the next episode. Bye.